Hi, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner.
And our dog, Betty White.
Your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
Could we have named it something more creative? Probably. But it's the name of our blog. It's our last name. We're on an adventure. Yada, yada, yada. After owning our own business, working 24/7.
And don't forget a mental breakdown in between.
We made a lifestyle change and decided to make the most out of life.
We sold our house, most of our belongings, downsized, and moved to the coast.
We live life minimally, but fully.
We live each day as an adventure.
This show will help you learn how to live life more fully, with more intention, by experiencing more, and with less stuff.
We'll talk about our own experiences, interview others who have much to share by creating a spark in our lives.
Some days we'll share real-life ongoings of what we're going through, and others will talk about our favorite flavor of waffle.
Come join our adventure.
It's the Arner Adventures Podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Jerry.
Betty White is hanging here with us, as always, and we're back for episode 88 of the Arner Adventures Podcast.
We have an uplifting episode for you today all about affirmations. But before we get to that, let's get to our review of the week.
Let's do. This review comes from Faye P90 or Fape. Not sure, but Faye P90 says, these episodes are always so helpful, inspiring, and makes you want to simplify your life. Life really doesn't have to be as difficult as we make it. Thanks for pointing that out.
Well, I like that. And I like, that's sort of a nice reaffirmation from Fape 90 because, sometimes we need to be reminded.
I like the segue there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Faye P, for taking the time to give us a 5-star review.
Yep.
If you would like to help support us the way that Faye P did, please take a moment on the platform you're listening to us on right now or watching us if you're on YouTube. And maybe give us a thumbs up, give us a 5-star review. We would really, really appreciate it. And your time doing that helps get our content out into the world to other people who may find it useful.
You're darn tootin'. And speaking of positive support, do you know how supportive affirmations can be?
Well, we know how supportive they are, and we thought that we would talk about them today, the power behind them, and how they've helped us navigate challenging times and life in general.
Sure. Affirmations are your mindset surfboards riding the waves of positivity. I love that.
I do too. And, we sort of came up with that. We sold everything, changed our whole lifestyle to live by the coast, which if you're a listener or viewer or reader, you know that. But when we did that, there were a lot of mindset issues that we needed to tackle, being completely different than the norm, quote unquote norm of how people live. A lot of people thought, whatever they thought. We sort of had to work on that positive self-talk and mindset and sort of the whole thing about living by the coast and surfing, challenging waves and things like that. We sort of coined this term mindset surfboards.
We sure did. And yeah, you don't really think about it. I didn't think about it as much till we were kind of into that change. Like, oh, this is really different.
Me too.
I didn't think about it first, but anyway, we've talked a lot about self-talk and how you treat yourself and the effects that self-talk has on your life. We both really find that actively working on having positive thoughts helps to mold your life. Morning routines. So we love our morning routines. They're a big part of that.
Yeah.
In fact, that's a really dominating one for me at the morning stuff.
Me as well.
Creating a mantra. But we have found that affirmations, as cheesy as they may seem, really are game changers when it comes to putting a positive spin on your daily life.
Yes. And, we've read a lot about affirmations and the power of your thoughts, and it's a work in progress. I remember going to a conference called Blog Her right before COVID. So that was 2020. I think
early 2020.
Okay. It was in LA, and Hunter McGrady, I love her. And she was one of the speakers, a panel speaker. And she talked about how she lives every single day by her affirmations, and that she sits in front of the mirror and has these positive affirmations, and she starts her day that way. And I remember sitting at that conference thinking, well, yeah, I mean, I have affirmations that I read here and there or whatever, but I'd never really thought about having them in front of me and really saying them to myself and utilizing it as part of my morning routine. And now I do. And it's really helpful.
Yeah. And you also met Hillary Duff there.
And Hillary Duff.
Did she give you any positive affirmations?
No.
That's all right.
That's all right. She was very positive, but she didn't give any positive affirmations. But that's okay.
I think just saying Hillary Duff would be a positive affirmation. That has an upbeat sound to it.
What was interesting is that she introduced herself and said, "Hi, I'm Hillary." And I said, "I know." Anywho, well, let's get to, in case you're listening to this and we don't want to assume anything. You may be thinking to yourself, well, yeah, I hear about these things all the time, but what are affirmations? And you may have figured it out by now with some of the things we're talking about, but let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Affirmations are like little positive pep talks that you give yourself. They're short. They're uplifting statements that you can repeat to boost your confidence, your motivation, and just to get a more positive mindset.
They're like a mental high five to help you stay on track and tackle the day with a positive attitude. So if you're all about living life fully and embracing positivity, throwing in some affirmations might just be your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Hillary Duff.
And you know, those mental surfboards we're talking about, they do help us surf the challenging waves, you know, get the cheesiness part, but it's so serious. Really is that you're catching a wave of positivity throughout your day. And we're going to get into more about how affirmations have had an effect on our life, like personally. So we'll get into that now instead of us just kind of being preachy about how great they are. We also thought this was timely with kind of some things that are going on in our life, which we'll definitely talk about. Do you want to get into this part or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay.
Keep rolling.
Well, affirmations, they're, you know, again, your trusty sidekick on your journey of life, right? It's the way that you talk to yourself, but being mindful of it and repeating positive statements. You're basically training your brain to focus on the good stuff. So they can help shift your mindset, like we talked about, boosting your confidence, keeping your spirits high, which comes in handy when you're, you know, out there exploring new horizons, new lifestyles, or embracing the unknown. An example is if you are waiting on some test results, you have a doctor's appointment coming up, you're making big decisions on your life or your career. You know, we talked a little bit while ago about our lifestyle change, but the timeliness of this podcast episode recording that we thought was really good is that, you know, our dog, Betty White, she went to the vet recently because she's had a cough, like a lingering cough for a while. And we've taken her a couple of times and they've tried different things, antibiotic or whatever. We thought maybe it was allergies. And she had a chest x-ray a couple of days ago and they found something in her lung. And of course, you know, I just about fall apart and, you know, my mind can automatically go very, very negative. And my mom happens to be here visiting and she, you know, helped me understand kind of like what Jerry and I really believe in is like, don't put that negative stuff out there. Let's don't put it out there. We don't even know what it is. A while ago, when we talked about embracing the unknown, having a positive sort of outlook on this would be more beneficial, right? And so Betty also picks up on our vibes and we want to make sure that we keep those positive. So anyway, long story short, she had some more tests done last night that they were like a sedated x-ray so that she could be really still. And they sent it off for a vet radiologist to read. And it's been nerve-wracking waiting. We're still waiting. But I've really been trying so hard to have those positive affirmations and sort of put out into the world the positive that I want from these results.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a perfect time for to be thinking.
Yeah.
Affirmations with all that.
Yeah. Do you have any times that you want to talk about that you use positive affirmations?
I think here and there I do them a lot. Yeah.
Get ready for a summer hydration upgrade. This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV, a true game changer in our daily routine.
We've been relying on Liquid IV for years now. Let me tell you, it's been a total game changer, especially when it comes to staying properly hydrated.
Liquid IV is a hydration multiplier conveniently packed as a powder in individual packets. And the best part? It comes in a variety of delicious flavors. Personally, I can't get enough of the pina colada and strawberry, sometimes mixed together. Yum.
They make the perfect summer mocktails, whether you're on the go or prefer to make a big pitcher of water for the day. With a few packets like I do, Liquid IV has got you covered.
The magic of Liquid IV lies in its ability to deliver 2 to 2.5 times more hydration than plain water alone. It's like water that works for you.
Ready to experience the hydration revolution? Head over to arnerventures.com/liquidiv to grab our exclusive discount code and enjoy free shipping.
That's arnerventures.com/liquid-IV for your ticket to staying refreshed and properly hydrated this summer.
And now let's get back to the show. I can't think of a specific one, like you were just relating to with this. Of course, I've jumped in on that too, because I've been concerned for Betty too. But yeah, I've kind of been aware of that for a while, that they were effective. So here and there, I definitely have used them for certain things.
I think all of this sort of started for me when, and I know I've talked about this before in the blog, and I can't remember how on the podcast, but Melissa Ambersini wrote this book called Mastering Your Mean Girl. And it's really, anyone could read it. You don't have to be a girl to read it, but she does talk about how really being mindful of the way that we talk to ourselves. We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
And you can really use positive affirmations to, like we talked about, training your brain and turning that negative way that we think about things, and instead of having a fear-based mindset, have more of a positive one. And it is a work in progress. I mean, it's something I deal with every single day. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think anybody would that, or everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, creating your affirmations, crafting your affirmations is definitely something you don't just create them and then they're there, got that done, move on. Yeah, it was something you'd have to work on all the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like,
what do you want to talk about, how to create your own affirmations?
Yeah, creating them is like crafting a personalized motivational playlist for your mind.
That's right.
Oh, you gotta like that.
Yeah.
And we've got a little recipe for that.
Yeah.
And I'll go with number 1.
Okay.
Keep it personal. Tailor your affirmations to your unique journey and values. Think about what resonates with you and your spirit.
Yeah. I mean, we do have something for you guys at the end, a freebie to help, if you want some help with some positive affirmations. But if you want to create your own, you do need to tailor them to what works for you. If your body and your health is super important to you, then you would tailor it for that. Or if you are thinking about wanting to make sure that you have success in your career or whatever it is, you would definitely want to tailor it to what is going on with you.
Yeah, indeed. Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's everybody. And yeah, you have to take some time to kind of break it down and think about, what do I really value? What do I really like? Maybe start by elimination and say, well, I'm not going to say I'm the best downhill skier in the world, because I've really ever done that once. I would eliminate that in my top 5, and then you just kind of go from there. You chip away at it, and you figure out what you're good at. Yeah.
Well, the next part is you always want to keep it positive vibes only. Phrase your affirmation in a positive way. Instead of saying, I won't be afraid, right? There's like a negative thing there. You say, I am fearless and I'm ready to conquer.
Yeah.
See? See how you spin that around to positive?
A little spin there.
Yeah. Just keep it positive.
Yeah. And it's simple.
Yeah.
You're also practicing mindfulness, because you have to pay attention to these thoughts. And it's hard to do that all the time, but you take little moments and times to kind of pay attention to
Yeah, that's true.
what you're thinking. Yeah. Present tense, write your affirmations as if you're already experiencing what you desire. This helps your brain get into the "this is happening now" mode.
Yeah. I remember when, and it's more like a mantra, but it's also like a positive affirmation, when I was waiting on some test results a couple of years ago, and I was just terrified and didn't know what they were going to come back with. But I just remember constantly saying, I am healthy. I am whole, just constantly saying that. I am healthy. I am whole. I am with God. I am healthy. I am whole. I'm with God. And I kept saying that over and over again. It was like just telling myself, I am healthy. I am healthy. So it wasn't about, the results themselves. It wasn't about, please don't let me, be sick. That would be more of a negative thing. So it was more like, I am healthy. And telling my body and my mind that is how I was right then,
And at the time, did it help?
It definitely helped.
Good.
It definitely helped. And I also think, had I received different results, I would still hope that whatever my challenge was, that I would still keep that mindset.
Yeah.
To say, I am healthy. I'm healthy. To sort of keep it there instead of being negative about it. But, I don't know. I'm not in those shoes. But what I do know is how these things have helped me through times of fear in my life. Yeah. Well, the next thing is to be specific. Focus on specific aspects that you want to improve or celebrate, whether it's courage, embracing the unknown, finding joy in the little things. Just make it clear and just be very specific.
Yeah, I like that. Short and sweet. Keep it concise. Affirmations are like quick power shots, so make them easy to remember and repeat.
Yeah, you definitely don't want an affirmation. And, you can just have these like on your mirror or whatever, and you can kind of read them. But then if you want to kind of carry them through the day, you don't want them to be this paragraph that you are trying to memorize, because then it's not, you're not learning it so much.
Oh, well, yeah. You don't want to start saying it and then go, wait, and then look at your hand where you have it written or something.
That's right.
You want to be able to memorize it.
Yeah.
And also say it with confidence, not just memorize it where you're going through it, but you're concentrating more on saying it. You want to really know what you're saying.
That's right. And you want them to be emotionally charged. So attach emotions to those affirmations. Visualize how you'd feel once they're true. It's like giving them a boost of energy, the power of the thoughts, right? So envisioning that whatever this is that you want, whether it's, I keep going to career, but we're so much more than that. A lifestyle. So I will tell you, I always envisioned that we would live by the ocean. And I was like, that's what I see. I would do these vision boards and all these things in different classes or on my own. And I would always picture that we would live by the ocean. It was like I was putting it in present tense. They were emotionally charged. I was just putting that out there. And, I didn't know what our lifestyle was going to be. I didn't know how it was going to change, but I knew we were going to live by the ocean. And guess where we are?
That's where we are.
And, for example, if you're all about embracing new experiences, your affirmation might be, I boldly embrace every new adventure that comes my way, or I'm accepting of every new adventure that comes my way.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Remember, there are words to inspire yourself, so make them authentically you. Let your affirmations become your positive self-talk.
Yeah. Again, that ongoing dialogue in your mind.
Yeah.
It could either be toxic or it could be very positive and helpful.
Yeah. Take your time with what you're thinking. Go easy on your brain and sift through your thoughts at different times during the day. Sometimes a lot's coming at you where you can't. You have to sort of react when you're in that fight or flight mode. But there are times during the day usually, and you can develop a little discipline to sort of sort through your thoughts and see what ones you can spin
in
a positive way.
That's right.
Getting the talk down.
Well, listen, affirmations, again, they're like your personal mindset surfboards that ride the waves of positivity, as we said. We hope that this episode, it was short and sweet, like your affirmation should be, but we hope that this inspired you to embrace affirmations and a tool for self-improvement, positive self-talk and thoughts. And we just, again, with kind of what's going on with us right now, and we just thought, if this is a tool that we use for ourselves to keep a positive mindset, then why don't we talk about it? Because maybe this could help someone else. I've heard conversations like this and it helped me. And that's sort of what got me on that path. Like I talked about Hunter McGrady talked about it. And had she not talked about it, I wouldn't have even thought about it, probably, like trying it myself.
Right on. Yeah. Hillary Duff. And oh gosh, I think I lost my train of thought.
Well, you want to tell them about our freebie?
Let's move on. Yeah, now we have a freebie for you. We are helping you jumpstart your affirmation journey with our very own mindset surfboards that you can download and keep digitally or print them out, hang on your mirror, or do whatever you like with them. Mm-hmm. You can grab them at the link in the show notes.
Yep, just a great way to get you started on a really positive mindset. On that positive mindset surfboard.
Yeah. For some of you people who don't live near any water, you can switch it up to positive, say mindset skateboards.
Or ski or downhill skiing.
If you live up north in the snow. If you live in Iowa, skateboards. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
I think you see where I'm going with
this.
But
they are a list of free positive affirmations that we find that are helpful. If you don't want to have the pressure of it, don't make it pressure, right? If you don't want to come up with some of your own right now, you can use this as a starting point and hopefully they inspire you and help you.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you learn some of your own, you'll want to help somebody else too.
That's right.
That's kind of how those things work.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from anything we talked about today, or any episode, our guests, or anything, please share it with a friend. It's a great way of supporting the podcast and us, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review rating on the platform you're listening to us on. Oh, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button because that also supports us. We would love that.
You can always find us, links we refer to during the show, and any of the podcast sponsors at arneradventures.com or linked here in these show notes. And until next time, enjoy that journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Adios.
Arrivederci.
Au revoir.
Adios.
Sayonara.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Dos vidaniana.